Hey guys, I miss you. I know my screen's a little blurry and I'm not sure why, but I miss my Christmas tree. Um, so I'm gonna be out for the week. My husband has COVID and I've got to stay with my kids, but I miss you guys, and hopefully this will help bring a little bit of normalcy to your classroom. We'll see. Make sure you're being nice to your sub though, because I will hear all about it. I promise you, and you know that I will. So first up, let's go over our agenda. So, I should have had this open, but it's fine. All right. So today is Monday the 6th. Nothing super exciting going on, but it is Walt Disney Day, and you guys know that is probably one of my favorite days. And ironically, my setting for my background is Walt Disney World on Walt Disney Day. What's the chances? Anyways, so today we're going to keep doing the addition and subtraction equations that you guys have already done with Mr. Smith last week. We're going to review what you guys have already done, and then we're going to do story problems, and then you're on your own to do some pixel art. Okay, so hopefully we have 3 story problems we have to get through, and then hopefully we can you guys can have a little bit of downtime with some pixel art. It shouldn't be too bad. So first thing, before we get into all of that, I want to know, what did you do this weekend? This weekend, I was quarantined, and so I literally did nothing except for keeping my humans alive. Yeah, can't, I don't have much to share. But I'm excited to read what you guys said, and I think that it'll be fun. I'll email you guys, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, so first up, I want you guys to stick with me because I want to see what you remember. Okay, this isn't working super easy like I was hoping, so we're going to do some examples. Okay, first up, we're going to talk about opposites. Remember, the inverse operations is what you guys talked about. It was in the notes that you guys did. So if you're going to do an equation, like an addition equation, the only way to undo it is by doing the opposite. So what's the opposite of addition? The opposite of addition is subtraction, right? What's the opposite of subtraction? Addition. Good. Okay, so the opposite of addition and subtraction are opposites. They undo each other, okay? And so you have to know that. And remember, they're best buddies when we do our PEMDAS. The best buddies, they're going to help each other out. So if I've got an equation that I don't know, then I can use my best buddy to help me. So the opposite of adding is subtracting. The opposite of subtracting is adding, right? Okay, so we're going to look at a couple equations. You do not have to write anything down right now, but I'm going to ask you some questions. So make sure that you're ready, okay? So we have over here, we have 20 equals y plus 12. All that means is, remember on our balance, we have to, if I've got 20 on this side of my equal sign, I also have to have 20 on this side of my equal sign, right? Because that equal sign means the same on both sides. Whatever I have on one side, I have to have on the other side. So if I have y plus 12, that needs to equal 20. 20 is not 12, right? So we have to figure that out. So we're going to use those inverse operations. We're going to undo what they did. So what I would do if I were you is I'm going to do it confusingly. Okay, you have to rewrite your problem. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm trying. Okay. I don't know. You have to rewrite your problem. I can't rewrite my problem. You can laugh at me. It's okay. Try again. Okay. Seriously. It wants me to click on the scribble tool every single time. It's fine. Anyway, let's talk about it then. Okay, we'll just roll with it. So if I have this problem right here, you see this plus sign? I need to figure out what number plus 12 equals 20, right? So I'm going to do the opposite. So instead of having 12 here, I'm going to take that away. So the opposite of adding is subtracting, right? Right? Okay. Is subtracting. And so we're going to subtract 12 from both sides, right? Okay. So I know this is like a hot mess express, but what is 20 minus 12? 8. So that would mean that y equals 8. Here, let me try it this way. Oh, goodness. It'll be better tomorrow because I'll practice. Okay. So if I did 20 minus 12, I would get 8, which is what you guys just told me, right? So that means if I were to check that and I were to go on the other side of my equal sign and I took that 8 and put it with my y, 8 plus 12, what does that equal? It equals 20. So that's how we have our equal sign over here and our equal sign over here, and we get the exact same problem. Okay? So we're just balancing it. It's what you guys have been doing. It's what we did a couple other times. You just didn't realize this is what you're doing, and you just did some algebra. So let's look at one more. This one's x plus 2 equals 19. I didn't realize I did. Oh, that's why. See? Been dealing with kids all day. COVID times. I did the exact same problem twice. Sorry, I failed you. I'm so sorry. Okay, so we have x plus 2 equals 19. All that means is a number plus 2 equals 19. I have to have the same amount on both sides of my equal sign, right? So if I've got 19 over here, I need to have 19 over here. But right now I only have 2. How do I get from 2 to 19? Well, and that's why you're going to use your inverse operations, right? So I'm going to take away 2 from both sides. So I'm going to say minus 2 over here, because that's going to kind of like cancel that out, is what we call it in math language. And so then I'm also going to take 2 away from over here, because whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other side of the equal sign. Good. Okay. So if I end up doing it that way, it would be 19 minus 2 equals, good, 17. And then you can check that, right? So we can take that 17 and we can say, does that make sense? So I'm going to take my 17 and I'm going to add it to 2. And what do I get? Good, 19. I have 19 on both sides of my equal sign now. This is exactly what you guys did last week with me when we did our coloring. If you solve your equation on one side, it should match the other side of your equal sign. Okay, now that was a boo-boo. I don't know what to tell you. Give me a break. Stop making fun of me, can I? I don't like that. Okay, so we are going to go into your books and we're going to do a couple story problems. Once we get through those story problems, you guys get to do some pixel art and relax, and it won't be a big deal at all, okay? All right, go ahead and get your book. Page 198. Let me know when you're ready. Okay, you guys should all be ready now. So the first one we're going to do is an addition equation. And we're going to talk about some plastic figurines like superhero guys. I know that some of you guys probably have them. It's okay. I won't call you out. It's fine. But anyway, we're going to look and see like what makes this an addition problem and what do you think is important. So take a second and in your books, underline and highlight anything that you think is important in this problem right here, and then write it here. Okay, so some of the things that you should have had, hopefully, is he had some figurines. I don't know how many figurines he had, but I do know that he bought 7 more. So if I have some of something and then I buy more, 7 more, Now I have 25. How did I get 25 if I only have 7 figurines? Because we added it, right? So it says, how many plastic figurines did he have before he bought more? So we know that my total is what? What's the total amount of figurines that he has? Good. The total amount of figurines should be 25 because it's right here. Because now he had a total of 25 figurines. If I'm going to say total, what symbol am I going to use? Equals. Good. Okay. So now here's where it gets tricky when we step into that algebra stuff, okay? So if I have sum and I bought 7 more, what symbol am I going to use if I have the word more? Addition. I feel like I'm talking like on Blue's Clues, you know, like when they ask a question and then they just wait for an answer that nobody gives them. But anyway, okay. So if I have some plastic figures, I don't know how many, and then I get 7 more of them, that means I'm going to add 7, right? We already figured out how to solve this, right? So now the hard part's over. So now all I have to do is I have to kind of undo using the inverse operation. What does the inverse operation mean again? It means the opposite. What is the opposite of adding? Subtracting. Okay, so I'm going to subtract from both sides the one that's connected to the variable. So since the x is here, I want that one to be all by itself. It's going to isolate. It's going into quarantine like my husband downstairs. And I'm going to isolate that. And so I want to take that 7 away. So if I'm going to take something away, I'm going to subtract, right? So I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. And this is what we call canceling it out. So we cancel that out because if I have plus 7 minus 7, I get 0, right? And so over here, I've got 25 minus 7. What's 25 minus 7? I'm doing it in my head. 25 minus 7 is 18. So 18 should be our x. Can we check it? Can we see if he had 18 figurines before he bought some more? Yes, we can. I can just take that and I can do my 25 equals again. If I do 18 plus 7, it should be 25. Is 18 plus 7 25? Nice job. Okay, let's do another one. It says Cabrini had some markers. This is at the bottom of your page, by the way. Cabrini had some markers. We don't know how many markers, just some. After she bought 12 more markers, she had 16. How many markers did she have at the start? Now look, they already gave you that equation right there. See it over here off to the side? N plus 12 equals 16. That N is whatever marker she had. And then she got 12 more, so we're adding, and now she has a total of 16. So we needed to fill this in a little bit. So if I have N plus 12, like I have up here, and I want to take that 12 away, because I want to isolate that guy, I'm going to subtract what number from both sides? 12. I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. So whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, I got to do the other side of the equal sign. So I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. So you're going to write this in on your book. And what is 16 minus 12? 16 minus 12 is 4. That means she had 4 markers in the beginning. Good? How you doing? Okay, let's do one more with subtraction, and then you are free from me. Look, I can move my little face over. Okay. Boop. Okay, so you guys have seen all addition so far. Subtraction's the same way. What's the opposite of subtraction? Good. And whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the perfect. Okay, so you guys know this already. And the only difference is that now you're adding to both sides. That's it. Okay, so we have Clive is 19 years younger than Josh. Clive is 34. Write and solve a subtraction equation to find Josh's age. Okay, so they drew you a little picture, which some people like, some people don't, and showing you Josh's age is going to be Y. It's this whole big long thing here. And we know that Clive is 34, and we know that he's 19 years younger than Josh. So we need to figure out what Josh's age is. So I'm going to take this whole of Josh's age, and I'm going to subtract out that 19 years. So all of Josh's age, it's Y. I don't know why they picked these letters. I'm going to take away how much younger he is. And then that should equal Clive's age, right? Okay. So now I have my subtraction problem. There's a subtraction sign in there. Don't freak out because you guys already know what you're doing. What's the opposite of subtract? Okay. And we have the Y here, minus 19. So instead of minus 19, now we're going to do plus 19. Good. Whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, I got to do to the other side of the equal sign. So plus 19. Ow, why is it adding on me? And so then that leaves us, if I were to cancel this out, like we say, cancel that out, all that leaves me with is this little Y right here. I can't forget about him. That Y is still on that side of the equal sign. So I'm going to do Y equals whatever 34 plus 19 is. What's 34 plus 19? Yes, I'm using my calculator. Okay, you should have gotten 53. That means Josh is 53 years old because Clive is 19 years younger than him, and Clive's 34. So Josh is 53. It's the exact same thing you do with addition, only a different way. Okay? And actually adding is easier, so you shouldn't have a problem with this. Okay. So that was today. Tomorrow we're going to go into multiplying and dividing. So make sure that you feel comfortable with this. Ask questions if you need to ask questions. Your sub is there. Miss Katie's there. You can email me. But you guys should all feel confident adding and subtracting equations at this point, okay? Let me know how you feel. If you feel like you need some extra help. And I will see you on video again tomorrow. Bye, guys.